Alright, so this is going to be 100 maps of Outlaw or Carjack as requested. This is probably going to be the last farming video that I do before PoE starts. So, yeah. Alright, I want to start this off by saying that I did not do Carjack alone for this strat. I was using Goddess of Hunting along with it because I feel like it is a really hassle-free strat to add on. Right, definitely you can do other things together with Carjack. For example, Dream is also pretty fast. So if you have the Dream Pet, for example, then you could do this for even more money, right? Okay, let's start off with the methodology. So I was using FE pets throughout the whole map, and then we use the auto pack setup so that it swaps to Carjack pets when we start Carjack, and then immediately swap back to FE afterwards, right? And I am also using Doro. I have level 1 Doro when the chest spawns from Goddess of Hunting, and we are also not doing Overwhelm as well. In hindsight, I think I probably would have swapped to a Chonk Doro Kong setup throughout the whole map if I could. Mm, but since I already did a few maps running full FE pets, I did not swap to this. So I think if you do this setup, you probably will earn slightly more money than I did, but I think it shouldn't really matter too much overall. Okay, now let's go on to the cost. So in terms of the cost, this strat is actually quite cheap because we are forcing Outlaw through our tree. So we don't really have to run any Outlaw compasses in this case. Okay, we are paying for 100 maps of your choice. We are also paying for purple hunting, and the rest is kind of free, right? Alright, our total cost comes up to about 1007 TFE. And on to our profits. So the good thing about Carjack is that it drops a lot of raw FE, right? I dropped a total of 3,000, about 3,700 FE. I also dropped some other currencies like Ultimate Embers, 17 of them. And okay, in terms of Carjack loot itself, okay, we got 40 base mods, we got 7 Warlock mods, which is quite expensive. So we are speccing to drop more Warlock, Warlock expansion mods. Yep. And we also got some Vanguard and Tank expansion mods. Okay, in terms of tokens, we didn't really get a lot of tokens. One, because we are not specced into the bounty section of the tree, which is where most of the tokens come from anyways. So we only got a few hundred in total, I guess, right? And I would say that getting 3 corrosion is also pretty lucky in itself. Okay, we did also drop 3 sprouts of legend, which is also considered a lucky drop. But I would say even if you remove all of these, it's still the bulk of the money is still going to be in mods and FE drops as well. Now, in terms of Goddess of Hunting, so in terms of what you see on the screen here, okay, you can kind of separate my two profit areas, I guess. Right, so compasses and div cards, I would say mostly still came from Goddess of Hunting. Right, Goddess of Hunting just drops a bunch of general loot. Right, so compasses, div cards, raw FE, and sometimes you could drop a Ralph's, which did happen early on in the league. It can drop priceless gear, which I also did early on in the league, which generated me even more money. So in this case, at this part of the league, pretty much nothing of value dropped apart from compasses and div cards and FE, I guess. Okay, so after all of this, our total revenue was 6,798 and our profit is about 5.7k. Okay, and in terms of our profit per map, it's about 57 FE per map. And if you count it per hour, let's say you do run your maps as fast as me or maybe even faster, it is about 3.4k FE an hour. And now, okay, don't come at me, right? I do have level 6 Carjack, and I do have level 1 Doro, and I do have Chalk, okay? So even if I were to cut my money by, let's say, 33%, okay, let's just cut it by 33% straight up, okay, you're still gonna earn about 2.2k an hour, right? Or at least 2k an hour doing this. So I would say that Carjack is still pretty good, especially for early on in the league. So as long as this doesn't get nuked next league, I will definitely still be doing a build that would clear Carjack really quick, right? Because in terms of generating raw FE without any investment, this is definitely a really good strat to use. With that, I think I have said all I really wanted to say for this video. As always, just take everything here with a grain of salt because everyone will have differing levels of pets, right? So I do have level 6 Carjack, level 1 Doro here, which, play into the strengths that you have, right? Play into the pets that you do have. Like I said, if you have Dream, add Dream onto this, right? is probably going to net you more money than doing hunting without Doro, for example. Okay, and with that, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching Wet Puddle. Bye bye.